this morning for me, and you're just like a machine, just nonstop. And you're bringing the energy for every single one. So we really appreciate you joining us here in the Wizard Pass community, and
Yeah.
welcome on behalf of we have here Hearn Dog or Steve, Miss Violet Ash, part of the team here, and all our guests here. But welcome to Wizard Pass.
Thank you. Thank you, Wizard Pass. Thank you for having me. Thank you for opening your doors and accepting me into your home.
Oh, it's our pleasure, my pleasure. And I believe you're also, I haven't checked the Twitch stream in the last few seconds, but are you thinking of streaming this over there as well with
If
the
if
slide
it's
deck?
if it's okay with you guys, yeah. That way we can have some visuals for the people. And yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Perfect. Well, I will,
Sometimes I make some
I'll
silly
pop over there in
faces
a
so
little
it'll
bit
be
too.
more entertaining as well. If you guys ask me like a really difficult question, sometimes I'll like glitch and I'll just like I'll just stay kind of quiet and looking out into the empty nothingness. Somebody asked me a question, there was like complete silence, and I didn't realize they couldn't see me, because if you could see me, you could tell I was thinking. But if you couldn't, then
Right?
it was like dead silent. And they're like, hello, are you still there?
Daniel,
Okay.
you're a machine, man. I've been checking the Twitch channel throughout the day. You've been going hard, man.
All right,
Congrats.
yeah. Well, if you're not gonna bring it, go home, right?
That's right.
Sorry, guys. There is a bit of echo, or is it just me, or Steve, or Daniel? Are you
I've got
hearing an
the
I
echo
can
echo?
as
hear
well.
it. I was just going to ask everyone to please mute themselves. Not you, Henry.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, let me see. I'll continue. I was hearing like a repeat, like I'm hearing myself right now. Maybe somebody. So Steve, and if everyone, I'm just gonna test it out. If you guys can possibly mute your mic. I'm just seeing if I still hear myself. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. You still hear myself. Hmm.
Maybe we can mute ourselves to see if it's us. Tommy, you never know.
Okay. So I see everyone on stage has muted. It's just me that's unmuted. Hello, hello. I'll give it a second. It's like a 3 or 4 second delay.
Have you got Twitch playing somewhere else, Henry, in the background?
Oh yeah.
Another tab?
You know what? I believe it was me all along. I'm so sorry, everyone. Yeah, I had the Twitch in the back.
Psych.
I'm not good with multitask, but we'll get started right away here. So, Daniel, welcome again. Definitely want to jump right into talking about Collider Craftworks, in particular, of course, in just 2 days, the launch of your first collection. Cipher all the details. I'm guessing that our community here and anybody watching on Twitch, we've not only heard of Collider Craftworks, but been very much looking forward to the launch. Just a quick backstory for myself. I've heard of it through the YouTube channel back in January. Made a video back then, and even just a few weeks ago, I've been primarily in touch with Jonathan. So shout out to him. But 4 months later, here we are, and you have a fantastic team. I believe over 100, if not, team members based in Argentina and Buenos Aires, and since 2016. But we can talk a little bit more about not only Collider Craftworks, but really, what was the vision behind Cipher, your first collection? And I'll throw it over to you, but for illustration purposes, friends, you can join over in the Twitch stream for Collider Craftworks. Daniel will have the slide deck with the presentation, but let me throw it over to you now, Daniel.
All right. These are some of the cool heroes and avatars from the collection. So what's the inspiration? I think there's like a little bit of my childhood, a little bit of just stuff that generally I think a lot of us like, and then just a lot of happy accidents. Actually, like the hypers over here, you see they're wearing PJs. So let me go down a little bit further down. Here you go. This was like legit inspired by the community. Like every time I would jump on voice chats, everyone was in their PJs. Not everyone, but a lot of people. I was surprised by the amount of people in the NFT space wearing PJs all day long. So I was like, well, the hypers were definitely inspired by like DGen culture. And I was like, they should definitely have PJs. So a lot of these inspirations come from different places. but yeah, a lot of them are just from like games and pop culture and just like cool stuff that you gotta go picking up along the way. Um, I've always been a big fan of kind of like the cyberpunk universe, and I feel there's like a lot of really fun things you can do there. So yeah, I think that's kind of you know, a little bit kind of paying homage to, I think we called it the Cypher Collection, kind of paying homage to the original cypherpunks in the 70s and 80s, and kind of that kind of movement that I feel had a huge impact on what we're living today. They were kind of like the forefathers, and people who kind of kicked this whole thing off. So it's just that it's like a little homage and just having fun and being silly and getting things, just making stuff fun and not taking ourselves too seriously.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you mentioning the PJ part or the boxers, excuse me, because I was going to ask you when we get to like rarity and details, but that is one of the avatars that you can get, the ciphers. And we got lots to cover from. I want to ask you about what that mosh pit is, to certainly the details of the mint. But just backing up a little bit now, one thing that just really quick again, like what caught my attention from the very beginning was how everything has been done with such high quality. I mean, your website, uh, one of the best, most memorable for sure websites I've seen, the Collider Craftworks website. And on top of that, um, your team is as transparent as I've ever seen in any, I don't want to even just say an NFT project, but just a team period. So it was really easy for me to, trust, right? Gain that confidence very quickly. And even with all the ups and downs of, markets and different projects, like I've always had Collider Craftworks in the back of my mind. And I'm in your Discord, and we will share the link for our friends here to join your Discord a little bit later. And so I appreciate how you have also built that community, very tight knit. I share with others, like I am not a gamer by any means. So Daniel, hopefully you don't hate me too much, but even for somebody like me that's not into gaming, like I appreciate everything that you and the team have put together. So I wanted to ask you, like when was the thought of, hey, we're gonna turn Collider Craft from creating these incredible characters for these AAA games to we're gonna have this collection. When did that start? What was that process, and how did everything come about?
Yeah, it's actually a really long kind of process. I think a lot of times, you see these overnight success stories, and it's really never overnight. It's really just an accumulation of making a lot of mistakes, kind of fumbling along the way, and then it finally kind of hopefully comes together at some point. So for us, I think the team still feels a little bit dizzy sometimes. Like literally, I was talking to the game developers, and I'm like, she's like, so I'm not sure. Are we making a game or is this a demo? I'm like, guys, are you fucking kidding me? Of course we're making a game. so it's crazy. Like, there's so many changes, and we're just constantly like transforming, evolving, and even internally, I think sometimes some of us still don't know what's going on. But so it's always a work in progress. But all jokes aside, and kind of go back, we basically set out to build a team to become the best in the world when it comes to creating characters for games, right? And that was a long journey. It took us probably like 5 years to get to the point where I was like, yeah, I think we are one of the best teams in the world at making, and this is an incredibly competitive arena. The price wars are brutal. Retaining talent is brutal. Like it's a savage world out there when it comes to game development, and being able to survive, and not only that, but actually do really well and build a really strong team. That was a huge feat in itself. But then at some point too, it's like you realize, well, the majority of the revenue generated in games is through selling skins, right? And through selling these characters to gamers. So I'm like, we actually build the most valuable aspect of a game, and we're doing it every single day, and we're making like a very small percentage of the lion's share of the benefits of making this. So that's one thing from just a financial standpoint. Like we're kind of, why are we building somebody else's thing when we could build something for ourselves? So that's the first point. And then the second one is like, just from an artistic and creative point of view, it's like, hey, let's make something that we're proud of and something that we're excited to make, which is really cool, working on your favorite IPs, right? So what I'm sharing here on the screen, I was just kind of go back and kind of give a little bit of history, but these are some of the games that we worked on, some of the characters we've worked on. Some of them are like childhood favorites, right? So being able to work on, Spawn or Hellboy. Hellboy was like the biggest one for me. When we did Hellboy for Injustice 2, I was like, fuck yeah. That was hard, man. We had to hustle that one hard, trying to get that one. But yeah, so basically these are kind of the characters we've been doing, but at some point you're kind of like, hey, I want to create something myself. I want to, I think our team has something to say. We can make something memorable and amazing and all this kind of stuff. So I think you can look at it from 2 points of view. One is a creative point of view, and then another one is kind of like a financial, more tactical and strategic point of view. But we definitely didn't have the NFT space in mind when we set out to do this, right? We thought this would be a very long journey, first creating these tools for game developers, and then finally gaining enough traction where we could actually launch our own product and we'd be well known enough for people to actually want to buy our stuff. But then NFTs came along, and all of a sudden we were like, hey, this might actually work. And it took us about a year to make up our minds. It's very risky as a company kind of coming into the space. You don't know if it's a trend, if it's a rug, if it's real, if it's like it's gonna change the world forever. Um, so it took like about a year to really figure out what was going on in the NFT space, and then we made the decision in August last year to um, shift directions from making a B2B product to a B2C and releasing it to the public, and using the NFT space is really like the breeding ground for all of the success. No, just basically, yeah, like really coming in, being part of the NFT community, and using this as a place to really start building our product and our community. So
That's incredible, Daniel. And what I really admire, what you just said was, hey, you've been thinking about this unit team for a year plus. It's not, 2, 3 months ago, and you really got the ball rolling, ramping things up in August last summer, almost a year now. And it really, I think it was December, that January, where I started hearing about it in others, and here we are. So not rushing into things, excuse me, really understanding like what the market wants, what your community wants, and also being very when I read like your website, especially with Cypher, which we'll get into in a bit, but what you're going to be delivering. Herndog, Steve, I know I wanted to get your thoughts in a bit, like, because you recently heard of Collider Craftworks, and as a more of a newish fan, like what you thought of Collider Craftworks. But just really quick here, from your website, you'll be delivering a visual wallet with Cypher avatar that will bring your virtual identity to life while keeping all of your digital goods protected on chain, going to be built on the Unreal Engine. And I don't want to spill the beans too much. Have you talked about that, Daniel, in a bit? But all the deliverables, the milestones you have right at launch, even afterwards. But before going back to you, Daniel, if it's okay, Steve, you want to jump in and just share your initial thoughts when you first heard of Collider Craftworks?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up playing Mortal Kombat, playing Assassin's Creed. So when I saw the street cred, I was like, whoa, this is impressive. But I really love what they have done with the Cypher collection. My son is really big into video games, and the whole Fortnite trend and the look of the Cypher collection. I think my son dropped about $1,000 on these, avatars for this Fortnite game, and I had to have a real sit down with him and say, hey man, we need to check this thing. But I really love the look, and I think it's the new age, right? The more Fortnite look. So it kind of plays to somebody as old as myself, and then it also plays to somebody as young as my son. And was just very impressed when I read the Medium article. I mean, you talking about airdrops from basically July to December. I haven't seen that in the space, so very impressive.
yeah, thank you. And yes, that's actually one of the things we're really trying to accomplish here is we want it to feel um like exciting and fresh and something new and kind of silly and just kind of wild, and out there, and then at the same time kind of mature and very design driven, which it's a hard balance to find, right? So we're getting our footing and we're finding our spot, but it's really exciting to see people from all walks of life find something that they like in the collection. So yeah, it's not an easy balance to strike, but we're really happy to. I mean, just you telling me that is really cool. I use my daughters as a. I'm like, is this cool or not cool? Is this fresh, not fresh? And they vote and stuff. So it's good to have kids that
I
can kind of
guarantee
ground you and say, oh,
I
that's
guarantee you. I guarantee you, my son is going to be obsessed with this collection when I show him.
All right.
Awesome, Steve. And hey, I'm not that much younger than you, but certainly for me as a casual fan, I always kind of say I'm first an NFT trader, right? Just getting into space, but also
Mhm.
as a gamer. And even for me, it was very easy to digest, and certainly the amazing visuals help. So, Daniel, I see you have here on the Twitch stream the slide of what Visual Wallet is. So definitely want you to talk a bit more about that and leading to the launch, exactly what our holders will be getting after they mint. And before I throw it back over to you, for anybody that's just joining in right now or just been listening in, very much appreciate your time this afternoon, evening. Definitely, we will be raising our hands towards the end, requesting any of us have questions towards the end. And I don't want to spill the beans too much, but let's just say if you have a good question and really into Collider Craftworks Cipher, then you want to raise your hand, have your question ready towards the end for Daniel. Back to you, Daniel.
And bring the heat with those questions. No,
Absolutely.
yeah, no
Tough
softballs
ones.
around here. Yeah, this is no holds barred, man. We're talking about people's livelihoods here. We need to get those hard questions out. All right, so this is what you guys are seeing here is our internal production tool that we use to make all of these avatars. So we're talking about thousands of avatars. If we would do this the traditional way, it would take us like 3 months maybe per avatar, maybe 2 months. This tool that we've built, you basically integrate all of these assets. That there's a long process. I don't want to get too technical, but basically each one of these assets take anywhere between like two to 4 weeks, going from like glasses on the short end, and then maybe like sneakers and backpacks are really complex. So each asset gets made, it gets integrated, and then we need to make all of these assets work together. And this is not something you can automate. This is hand done, where you get hundreds of assets in all of their possible combinations. So all work together. And then when the character is animated, they need it to form correctly. And for those of you who've played computer games, you see all the time like assets clipping with each other and intersecting. And those are all things we try to adjust. So as you guys see, it's a monumental task. But what you guys see here is what we're going to turn into a consumer product, which is going to be the visual wallet, which is going to be connected to obviously your wallet on chain, and you're going to be able to see the assets and that you hold in your wallet, so the ones that you own, and then you're also going to be able to see the marketplace, and you're going to be able to see assets that friends and just that are available. So you'll be able to buy, you'll be able to sell, you'll be able to trade, you'll be able to hopefully lend as well to friends and family. And you'll be able to basically, gear up, suit up, and get yourself ready for the metaverse, or just fun games. So as you can see here, we're kind of designing this character. So as you can see here, unfortunately, with the streaming, you guys are missing a lot of the micro detail. But basically, each one of these assets we're allowed to kind of design with the material sets that we want, with the color palettes that we want. Once we have it all set up and everything's ready, the idea is that you'll be able to just click a button and then jump into whatever game or experience you want. This is a sample of the first game we're going to be releasing, which is called the Mosh Pit, which is an arena third-person deathmatch shooter, and the idea is for it just to be really fast-paced, fun. Just jump in for 5 minutes, have a good time. This is not the Unreal Engine 5 when we did the video of this demo, but now we've ported everything into the Unreal Engine 5. All of this is built on the MetaHuman skeleton, which means that any animations inside of the Unreal Engine just work plug and play with our characters. So you can make your own games with these and put these avatars in there and connect to your friends. Yeah, so the idea with this game is that this is going to be kind of like a showcase of what's possible. Obviously, we want it to be extremely fun. We want it to be, right at the highest industry standards when it comes to graphic fidelity, gameplay, and all of the like. And where we're not going to be competitive maybe with like AAA titles, that's the scale of the game, right? Because these games are normally made with thousands of people and they take, 2 to 3 years to make. We're going to focus on making games that you can get done within a year, maybe 6 months. And if we keep on scaling the team, instead of making, just one massive game, you have like two teams making 2 games a year. And then you have 3 teams making 3 games a year and the like, right? And the idea is for the visual wallet to connect to other games and experiences that are not built or designed by us. And that's where I think this becomes extremely powerful. We've built everything to work with the Unreal Engine, which means that anybody designing an experience, an environment, a game, a music video, anything in the Unreal Engine, they'll be able to connect it to our visual wallet, which means you'll be allowed to jump into it if the developer wants to develop something for this. We know there's a massive demand because we're contacted by these companies all the time. Yeah, we believe there's going to be a massive demand for a robust avatar solution for people building experiences for their consumers and their fans and their users. So that's kind of like the big vision here, right? And short term, we're going to start making games, and people will be able to jump in and earn rewards and have a good time and just, destroy their friends on the battlefield, as one is wont to do.
That's fantastic, Daniel. And I know, I think Steve mentioned with his son. So I have a daughter; she's only 4, so it's going to probably take a few more years for her to get into the mosh pit. But I'm really much looking forward to that. I feel like, hey, this is a game that maybe I only have 10, 15 minutes here and there, but I can jump right in and play with or against some of my friends here. But I also wanted to bridging over to coming up in 48 hours, the mint. May 20th, Friday. So, a lot of times with projects, right, we have ambitious roadmaps. We're gonna have all this utility, but we don't really know exactly when that's gonna be delivered. All of these vague questions. But one thing that I really appreciate what you guys have done is made it very, clear with these milestones, with the quarters you have here on your Medium article. And I know everything, things could change here and there, but just to have that rough estimate is, to me, very, very reassuring. So could you talk a little more about, let's just say, of course, Mint, some details on that, but more so looking a bit ahead, what can holders expect between May 20th and a little bit of jumping the gun a little bit, but the reveal a little bit month later, but in that first month after the mint, what can holders get?
Well, I can give you a little sneak peek. Well, if you guys were already on the other
Ooh.
AMA, you've already ruined this for yourselves. But for anybody who wasn't on the other AMA, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of what the mint site is looking like. So what you're going to be minting is, dun dun. So what this is a GLTF, which is a 3D file type that is supported in OpenSea. So you're actually going to be able to see what faction you've minted. You're not going to be able to choose the faction. You're just going to be able to find out immediately after minting what faction you have. You're going to be able to see it in 3D on OpenSea, and you're going to be minting one of these bad boys. And I'm pretty excited about this stuff.
That
And
looks incredible,
who
especially
knows what's going to happen, because the factions are out of control. So who knows what's going to happen. I think there's going to be a lot of really fun opportunity for some people to trade and mint several factions, or be able to mint several of one faction that they really like. So I think there's going to be a lot of craziness going on. Who knows what's going to happen during this time, but we're definitely going to have a fun time during this whole process. And these are our milestones for Q2. So obviously we have the mint, as you said, in a few hours. You just made me hold my breath when you said it. You said 40 hours. I was like,
complete for you
I was
between
like,
now and the next month end.
I got like a
Hey, hey,
mini
Daniel.
panic attack. Okay, so we're gonna be minting. Um,
48.
yeah, very soon. And then after that, between the mint and the reveal, it's 40 days. And a lot of people are like, why the hell are you guys taking 40 days to reveal? Are you guys insane? And the answer is yes, we are a little bit loco. But the reason we're doing this is because people have been with us really from December. And we want just the people have the power to do whatever the hell they want with their spot. So, just having people hold on to their whitelist for months and months just felt a little unfair to the community. We knew we wouldn't be able to do the drop before June 30th. So we decided just to give them access to this on May 20th. And people can do whatever they want. They can hold on to it. They can trade. They can flip. They can do whatever they want. But basically, they have the power. And what we will do is try to deliver a lot of value in that time, which is giving people access to the visual wallet, which right now is at this, pre-alpha stage. It's going to be a demo of pre-alpha, so you're going to be able to get a sense of what it's going to feel like to have your character in the visual wallet, what it's going to feel like from a consumer standpoint. And then you're also going to have access to the mosh pit later on. You're going to be able to have the full experience. So you're going to be able to create a character and bring it into the mosh pit. and that's like a great moment. And then after that comes a reveal. And in the middle, we're also going to do some other things. We're going to be revealing internally for holders. We're going to be showing them what the next collection is going to look like, which is a horror themed collection, which is, I think, like a really fresh take. And it's going to be, I think, people are going to be really excited about it. And we're also going to be showing like the legendaries, maybe like doing a little sneak peek of legendaries. We'll also have a one that we're working on that nobody knows about yet. That we're gonna, so we have lots of little fun things that we're gonna be throwing in there before the reveal. So it should be, 40 days. It's gonna be a wait, but hopefully there'll be a lot going on. And let me see.
Hey,
Yes,
Daniel, I had a question about the collection. So there's 7,780, and then in the first drop, there is 3,890. So does that mean the remainder will come in the September drop? Can you explain that a little bit?
exactly. So I don't know. I feel like I'm missing. I don't know what the hell happened here. I'm like
While
missing.
Daniel's looking, just really quick, you guys, if you're not in the Collider Craftworks Discord, Miss Violet just shared in the AMA questions the link, but also the password is for 50 uses. So hopefully we can get everyone that hasn't been in there. There's a password to it, and also in probably in about 10 minutes or so, I want to respect Daniel's time, but we will be requesting some questions from our audience here. So don't hesitate to raise your hand with the good question for Daniel. And once again, we have a really good prize slash reward for those with the best questions for, let's say, the top 3. And let's just say we have a pretty good chance of winning right now. So get those hands up soon. But Daniel, back to you on the
Real
Steve's
quick, I'm
question.
gonna ask our producer here. Tommy, ¿cómo es el tema con los discords? Okay. Okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we're just seeing about the Discord invites, just in case people wanted to join the fun. We have a Discord. You only come in through invitation. So yeah, we're giving those out. Was John able to reach out to you guys, Juanito, with the
I
Discord
believe so,
invites?
because I do see in the AMA questions the password 50 uses. So it
All right,
looks like I'm guessing
good.
they sorted
You
out in
guys should
there.
get 100 in total.
Oh, yes, yes, yeah. I think maybe we'll split it half and maybe a little bit later for the other half.
Okay,
But now
awesome.
check the DMs too. Okay, back to
Okay,
you.
so we're discussing over here Q2. So we have, the mint, the reveal, and then what's going on in Q3. Well, in Q3 we're going to be delivering the actual avatars. So these are like the 3D avatars fully functioning in Unreal Engine. You can download them, put them into the Unreal Engine, and start doing the fun things that we do. And then we have a drop 2 happening, which is the second part of the collection, where are the female ciphers. The reason we split this up is we're extremely sexist, and we just thought, well, if the male avatars, they should go first. Obviously, I'm joking.
I was
Yeah.
going to
So,
ask you that. Is it, because I do
like,
hear
what
in
the
another
fuck is
AMA,
wrong with
it is
you,
going to
dude?
be
Yeah.
50-50, right? With
Yeah, so
females
what we're doing,
and males?
basically all of the like the prototyping and the early demos, we had just like a medium male avatar, and so we had a lot of the work done already. So we're like, all right, how long would it take us to make this 7,000 plus piece collection? And we were like, all right, let's split it in half, and it made sense because we had a lot of the work already done for the male avatars to just do the first half the male avatars and then the female avatars. But in our next collection, it's all going to be together, and it's going to be some exciting stuff. So we have the second drops, female avatars in Q3, which is what we're aiming at, and then having an alpha of the visual wallet and the mosh pit also in Q3. So this is an alpha, means you guys have access to the game. Basically, all of the main features are locked in, and basically, we're targeting for the end of the year already having a finished game and a finished functioning visual wallet where you can basically buy items. You have access to a marketplace. Something's really cool. I don't think I mentioned this, but this is like literally on chain, right? So you'll be able to download your NFTs and place them on your clothing. That's something a tool that we're working on, which I think is going to be amazing. Yeah, so imagine like getting like maybe like some of your favorite NFTs, putting it on your helmet, on a cool jacket. I think it could be a game changer. Might change the world, to be honest with you guys. uh that those are our objectives for Q3. Did that answer the question?
Absolutely, Daniel. Steve, feel free to yeah jump in. I know you had there was a question about the split and the drops, and I think what's really fantastic is like seeing exactly right here Q3 exactly what we're going to be getting, and then I've no doubt your plans for the upcoming years and now. Now, one thing, just going back just a bit, you mentioned about factions, and I wanted to ask you, Daniel, if you can talk a little more about. I think there's four different factions, and how that works when you actually mint on Friday. I believe you get to see your faction and trade that, right? Is that how it is?
Yeah, so that's what I was showing you guys on the Mint site. I don't know, do you guys have access to the Twitch stream?
Yes, yes.
All
I
right.
may have missed it earlier. But
Yeah, so
yeah, so on
basically the
that
way
when
it
we
works, you're gonna get one of these 5 helmets. So this helmet represents the faction, right? So if you, for example, mint
Mhm.
this helmet, means you're gonna have minted a hyper, and there's 5 different factions. So you're not gonna know what rarity, you're not gonna know any of that, but you will know what faction you've minted. So that's gonna allow you to trade. We know inside of our community there's a lot of excitement and people have their different factions and the like. So we think it can be pretty fun when people start collecting, and who knows what's gonna happen to as a trader. I think it'll be pretty fun to watch. I think it might be the first time something like this happens between mint and reveal, where like all sorts of craziness can potentially happen. Hopefully, we get to see and have a fun time with that. And yeah, so you're gonna be able to see what faction you minted, and I can go over the factions if you like, real quick. I think we did go over
Yeah,
it, right?
that's what
Like
I was
we
looking at
have.
the
Okay, so yeah, maybe I
awesome.
didn't go over it. So as I said, the hypers are very much we put in little things, basically, people just full on degens, he's got tats like with, role playing dies, and it's just some fun stuff. Different people like contributed different ideas to it. Then we have the Radikids, which are very much inspired on, extreme sports, motorsports, and just extreme living. Um, and then we have the Outlaws, very much, bandits, renegades, very much inspired, spaghetti westerns, the Ronin, these kind of outlaws. And then we have the Prototype, which are basically, shadow op operatives, basically kind of engineered by a shadow organization and evil governments, and at some point they were like, fuck this shit, and they went rogue. So these are the Prototypes. And then last but not least, we have the Chosen. Are very much inspired by the Templar Knights, maybe the Freemasons at the beginning, with these kind of secret societies. Maybe on the outward you would never know it, but they're they just seem like your boring CEO, and then they're running some crazy shit on the back, and on the in the background. So these were kind of inspired by these kind of secret societies and the like. And what all these factions have in common is that they're all dissonance in some way, shape, or form to the powers that be within their universe. So really, the Cypher movement is a movement of people from all walks of life who are dissenting from the powers that be, and we're gonna keep on building and expanding this universe. But it's real meta, if I've got to tell you. There's a real connection between the player and the avatar, and there's a connection between you and your avatar in the actual story. So I think that will be fun too to explore. But those are the 5
Yeah.
factions.
I love The Chosen, giving me the Hitman movie vibes, with
Yeah.
the tie and yeah, that looks super cool. And I know you have, like you said, different rarities. So you got more on the left side, a little more maybe minimalistic, a little more, and then the one on the right, super well equipped with the helmets and guns. And fantastic, Daniel. I do see we have somebody raise their hand, so we'll bring up Hema
We
or
do.
Jaime in just a bit. Steve, did you wanted to ask or just jump in, of course, and we'll
Yeah,
get to
no, I
questions
just wanted
in a bit.
to bring Hema up and let them ask a question.
Yeah, Daniel, you okay? We'll take a couple of questions before
For
we
sure. For
continue on.
sure.
Hi,
Okay,
Daniel.
go
Hi,
for
hi,
it.
hi. Thanks for the opportunity. Just a question. Do you envisage big brands coming in at some point to sort of customize the avatars
Yeah.
so that you would have collabs with them as well on
To be honest with you,
that side of things?
I think there's a real opportunity for us from like a commercial standpoint, kind of in that mid section, not so much like the big brands, which I feel like if you were talking about like Nike, Adidas, and I think there's like this kind of tier right in the middle, where there's a massive opportunity. So think about like the amount of where are you from? Sorry.
London.
London. Okay, right. So think about all the like UK artists and athletes that will never get a Nike deal, right?
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
probably thousands of them, right? And with millions of followers each, right? They're never going to get a Nike deal, but they have a massive following, like, and especially when you bring them all together. So that's where I think there's a massive opportunity, right? For like a musical artist to say, hey, I want to do a special collection for my fans. I want to do this cool jacket. I have this idea for these cool sneakers. We can do it. We can put it into our visual wallet, and all of a sudden you have 1 million new users, right, that can interact with this content. And not only that, it's content that then they can use in games and experiences, right? So we think that there's like this huge opportunity right there, right in the middle, where there's incredible fandom, there's incredible creators, and they don't have the resources that maybe these bigger brands have, but they have a huge brand appeal. And those are kind of the people we're going to be targeting. We're basically going to control the production, the distribution, and the supply. So we're in a really good spot. So yeah, that's kind of
That's great.
the
That's
direction.
amazing. Thanks for your time.
And I also think
Hey,
like
Jaime,
IPs, I think there's some really cool IPs out there that I think want to get into the Web3 space, but it's complicated. They don't really know. It seems really messy on the outside, but there is a massive opportunity for them. So if there's somebody who can kind of help them out and just be like, hey, you guys don't need to know anything about Web3. You guys don't need to know anything about smart contracts or running a community or anything. Just give us your IP. We'll represent it in the best way possible, and you guys, your royalties are just baked into the contract, and it's so easy for them, right? And there's just huge IPs out there that massive opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing.
So much
Hey,
success.
Steve, I
It's
think
just so much success. It's just
what do you think of that question from Jaime? It's a pretty good one, right?
I loved it.
Yeah, Jaime, by any chance, are you already whitelisted for or allowed listed for Cypher for Collider Craftworks?
No, I'm not.
Henry.
Yes, Ms. Violet.
Yeah, sorry. Just check your DMs.
Okay, I haven't been multitasking too well. Well, okay. Well, just hang tight, Jaime, right? I'll just leave it at that. Just don't go too far. I took a screenshot. Great question. Well, if anybody else, please don't hesitate to raise your hand. And also, Daniel, before I forget, how are you on time? I'm sure you probably want to catch a break too, but when's your next event?
I think we have 5 or 10 minutes, which gives us like 5 or 10 minutes to get ready for the next one. And but yeah, we can what, like 2 or 3 more questions.
All right. All right. Well, now
Would
is the time for
encourage-
that question for sure. I'll leave that to you, Steve.
Yeah, we
got a
have
couple
a
more
solid
questions here.
10, 15 minutes.
Okay, kind
Let's
of
get
spill the
nifty up
beans.
here.
Go for it. I'll let you take the lead, Steve, on the questions.
Nifty, you got a question? Nifty, you're muted.
There we
Smart.
go.
There you
Hey,
go.
there you go. I'm driving, actually. Thanks for bringing me up, guys. I just wanted to say I've been in the Collider's Discord for about 6 months, and it's literally unbelievable in there. It's just a fantastic place to be. And I just wanted to say good luck and congratulations on the drop.
Amazing. 6 months.
Thanks, Nifty.
6 months, brother.
Holy shit.
That's dedication.
I don't even want to ask, but have you gotten your whitelist yet? Or are you still grinding?
I actually have not, man.
Oh my god.
I'm in there. I've tried. I've tried a million ways, but I've been in there a good bit.
I was scared to ask because I know how hard those whitelists are to come by. In theory, we're doing everything we can to make sure that people who were with us from the beginning got there. So, but this again, as you know, it's a difficult process. But I was scared to ask because I was like, oh man. But we'll see what we can do. But thank you so much.
All right,
Regardless for the.
I appreciate it. It was back in the day, even when Nikki G was doing marbles on
Oh,
Twitch.
dude, yeah, you were there. You were there 6 months ago. Look at that.
I'm
Wow.
telling you, man, it was a moral victory when I actually saw my marble.
Amazing. Well, I
That's
just a little
awesome.
disclaimer. I know Nifty or Mark. We haven't met in person yet, but he's a dear friend of mine. I've known him since October or November when I got into NFT. So, Mark, please drive safe because I know you're always multitasking, especially driving. So, but I appreciate you hopping on stage, and
Thank you, brother.
see you on the other side soon. All right. Thanks, man.
Later.
Steve, I'll throw it back to you.
Anna, can you unmute? You have a question, Anna?
Hi, I do, yes. Thanks for bringing me up. So I guess, so I had two questions. One of them was already answered. I wanted to ask about female avatars, and I'm really excited that you guys are doing this. The quality of artwork is really amazing, and it's really nice to see in projects because it kind of sets a benchmark for everyone else that will release projects in the future. So yeah, just wanted to say that. But my question is, I'm not really a gamer. I played some games in the past, and now that I'm in the crypto space and NFT space more and more, I do play a little bit, but not enough to call myself a gamer. So I just wanted to ask about people like me who perhaps will mint or buy on secondary. What kind of use cases are there for us to own the avatar? For example, is it possible to use the avatar in other metaverses, like the other side maybe, which a lot of people may have as well? So I guess that's the question.
For sure. So yeah, there are some games out there in the NFT space that have actually dropped our avatars inside, and since they're all rigged with a metahuman skeleton, the animations out of the box function. So so we're really excited about that. We haven't really taken time to sit down with these developers and actually set out kind of like objectives and see like how can we really make this possible. We've had like some just brief conversations and just sharing some love, but that is definitely something that we need to spend some time doing. And then okay, so what are like the you'd say like the utility for people who aren't gamers? Well, right out of the box, if we're successful in what we're doing, hopefully the value of what you're holding goes up. It's kind of like it's like owning a little bit of our company, and as we prove ourselves in the marketplace, hopefully the value of all of this content goes up, and you go, well, okay, that's all good and great, but I actually want to interact with this content. Something that's really cool is that we're looking into, and I think will be fairly attainable to integrate, will be just kind of like exploring experiences. If you guys do a quick search for it's called, I think, 90 Days in Unreal 5. It's beautiful. It was a group of three artists, and then they added a couple more artists for 90 days creating environments, and it's the most beautiful just worlds, and this is all fairly easy for us to integrate. So that's something that we're looking into, and that's something that I'm very excited about, is kind of like reinvesting. If we have success now with this drop, is reinvesting that capital into creating experiences that aren't necessarily gaming experiences, but that might be either music videos or just being able to wander and explore these beautiful environments, and maybe like exploring and finding stuff and earning things, but more as an explorer. So it's just like a fun time that you just get to go out and just kind of interact with artwork, so to speak. So there's a lot of really fun things that we can do, but yeah, just to be 100% honest, our main focus right now is the mosh pit, but there's opportunities to do things that aren't necessarily like hardcore gaming, that are very attainable. And then outside from that, I think for a year now, we've been like getting hit up by companies all the time that are looking for really robust avatar experiences for the experiences that they're creating, right? So for example, a lot of people inside of the music industry, gaming franchises, shopping experiences. So there's going to be a lot happening outside of like traditional gaming over the next couple of years. Like you're going to basically, from my perspective, every company who really wants to interact with their consumers in a meaningful way is going to have to figure out some sort of interactive experience. And I think avatars are really going to be at the center of this. So they're going to have to find some sort of plug and play solution for avatars, because if you try to go and build this yourself, you're going to be at it for a couple of years, and these companies don't have that time. So I think that there's going to be a lot of experiences coming into our platform, hopefully, if we're successful.
Okay, great, thank you.
But yeah, check out the 90 Days in Unreal Engine 5. It's beautiful. It's got some beautiful music, and it'll give you an idea of you running around these different worlds. And it's exciting stuff.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So real quick, Mr. Pacheco, it looked like you had your hand up and then you kind of disappeared. So if you want to try to ask that question again. And then Daniel, also, we got another question from Big Beans. Says, as a 3D artist myself, I find the art quality insane. I know firsthand this isn't easy to accomplish. How long has your team been working on this project?
How long we've been working on it? All right. So as I said, we made the decision to come into the NFT space in August, but we've been working on this for over 2 years. Actually, I can show you guys. This is stuff that not a lot of people have seen. Unfortunately, it's not going to look super good because it's streamed. So, but you guys kind of know, like, you guys can imagine the quality because you guys have seen other stuff. Okay, this is the early demo that we did when we started showing developers what we were working on. So as you guys can see here, this is from, this is 2 years old. This is the first demo we showed, of like, guys, if you wanted to build a world, kind of, for example, GTA, and you wanted to, populate it with, thousands of characters, you would need a tool like ours. And instead of it taking years and years and, millions of dollars, you guys can accomplish this in just a couple months. And this was the tool we were setting out. So we've been working on this for 2 years now. And we're also sitting on probably the largest library of assets for realistic characters in the world right now. I mean, we've talked to some of the biggest studios, and they couldn't believe the amount of content that we have. So, yeah.
Thank you
Daniel, we
so
know
much.
you're up against it, man.
Go first, Steve. We're great
No,
minds
I
think
just wanted
alike.
to say,
Not from me though,
we
but yes.
know you've got to run, buddy. We just want to say it's been a pleasure, man. We are super excited for this project, man, and just keep doing the great work.
All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for the
so
great
much,
vibes.
Daniel.
You guys definitely made me feel at home. I appreciate you guys. It's the first time we meet, but yeah, I hope it's the beginning of a long lasting friendship, and we can jump on and talk about new stuff as we get close to the second drop, or definitely stick around. Like, I don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of months, but it's definitely going to be exciting. We can't guarantee anything, but except the excitement behind what we're going to be doing. It's going to be fun to watch. So thank you guys again. Appreciate your time.
Oh, it's an absolute
Thank
pleasure.
you
and
so
privilege.
much.
Thanks so much, Daniel. And shout out to Jonathan. He's, just from my personal experience, like when I was new to the space, just, really quick, like Collider Craft was one of the projects that actually responded back to me when I reached out and just to say hello, and I'm really interested. So that meant a lot to me. And so glad that we can make this connection between Wizard Pass and Collider Craftworks. So can't wait for the